Hello, I'm Poemlight. Welcome to my Minecraft Indev world. This is a Minecraft world that I've been playing since late December, whenever winter break started for my college. I started playing this Minecraft version. And for until June, I have been playing on this Minecraft world, on and off. Sometimes I would play for 10 hours a day, and sometimes I would not touch it for a week. But I thought I'd show it off to the internet. The first building I would like to showcase is this. This is the sand cottage. It has a very, I think, unique building block of sand as the walls, and it also uses a smooth stone and cobblestone chimney. This is a block palette I'm going to use a lot. I use it often, especially when I'm playing older versions. Yeah, this is the interior. Pretty, I think, normal. There's nothing much in there. There's nothing in the chests anymore because I built this. This is the storage hall, but originally it was the mushroom farm. It was a mushroom farm. I then realized that mushrooms do not grow in this Minecraft version, so I turned it into a storage thing. And you know what? I really like it. I love these slit windows. I think they make this build, because there's 10 blocks in this game that you can build with, so it's really hard to make it feel unique. And these slit windows, I think, quite differentiate it from other builds in my Minecraft world. It uses gold blocks here, which is a fun touch, but I regret doing because of certain other project I'll show later. This is the forge. This is where I smelt items. I wanted to make this unique from the other two builds, so I made it this kind of modern, brutalist forge instead of the relatively humble blocks of wood. I wanted to go for this kind of define against nature. And this tunnel, so this build has two kind of side cubes. This one acts as a tunnel, and this one acts as a mine. This is actually the second mine that I built in this world. I'll show the first one off. This is what I mined. It's quite an impressive amount, especially if you consider the fact that I used mostly stone and iron pickaxes. Obviously there are no enchantments in this version, and I couldn't use any I couldn't use any of my diamond tools because I was saving them for another project I'm going to get on later. One thing you'll notice about this world is there's always going to be this gravel cobblestone pathway. There's always going to be these trees that are extra long, and there's always going to be these kind of paintings in the wall. They don't actually have anything. None of them do. I don't know if you can even do that in this version, considering there's no signs, but yeah. The next build I want to showcase is this. This is just a space filler mostly. There's nothing interesting in it. I just put some chests. The only thing that makes it unique is that it's diagonal. Yeah, it kind of sucks. This is another super long tree. One of the things this world has is this kind of seawall, only on this side of the coast. And that I did it mostly to use up a bunch of cobblestone I had, but that gave me a problem, which is I couldn't get up without destroying my seawall temporarily. So I built this. This is the doghouse. In lore wise, it's supposed to be a fishing place where fishermen, I don't know, live and do whatever fishermen do. But the actual reason for this build is that you can easily get up from the ocean without destroying the seawall. The next build is this. Actually, not this. The next build I built was this statue, another space filler and cobblestone use. And this is my least favorite build in this Minecraft world, because it's nothing and empty and boring. I hate it. But I needed a thing to fill out a space, so here it is. And this is probably one of my favorite builds, which is the spiral tower. So the spiral tower has two twin spiral staircases that I built first before I even started on the walls. And the goal for this thing was I wanted a place where I can kind of look out into the world and be inspired by it. And it's one of my favorite views. It's so good looking. I of course used gold blocks, which I will regret later. And this thing I built quite later in the world when I knew I was gonna be done with it soon. I wanted to use up all my rare blocks, including wool. So in this version, you can't have dyed wool. So what I did with it was I just made this kind of modern art looking thing. I call it the Snake Island. This island was there from the beginning. In fact, this is where I got the... You see how there's no sand in the front parts of it? Front parts of the coast of the island? Oof. That's because I used it for the starter house. So it's quite a historic island in this world. So, in this version, there are no 1 block water that can save you from a tall fall. But if you make it deep enough, it does stop you from taking fall damage. So the next build I want to showcase is this. This is just a tree. I wanted something kind of natural to fill out a space in a world, so that's what I built. It has alternating flowers, which is a quite rare block in this version, so it's quite an expensive build. This is the museum. I love this. I love how it's kind of... So because of the lighting in this version, you can't control it. This window just stands out so much. Like I told you about how I really like the slit windows. This is my favorite window. Just so nice. So this is the collection of every obtainable block in Minecraft. And this is where most of my diamonds went. It took a while. This is called an eternal furnace. You get it by mining a furnace when it's lit. But it's considered a different block according to the wiki, so I have to. Yep, and I have every items as well. For obvious reasons, I didn't place the TNT, and I also didn't do the grass block because it's technically considered unobtainable since no silk touch. This is the modern art exhibit. So this is the second there's a lot of art displays. I was inspired by the art displays in my city, and they would have these kind of outdoor things during farmer markets. So yeah, this is my other use for the wool blocks. They're double-sided, and actually this version, the latest version of Indev, is when the paintings were added. So, or not added, but at least made obtainable in survival mode. So yep, it's all I think there's 24, maybe 24 paintings, and yeah, all of them are in this pathway. Now this build is the wooden grate. This is wooden grate number 2. That's number 1. I just wanted something kind of interesting on this side of the island because it was more barren, and while listening to an audiobook I built this and that. It's kind of like a mindless build and it looks cool at night with the torches, so I'm actually quite proud of it. This side of the world, like I said, is quite empty. There's kind of a wheat farm here and the world sign that I started off this video at, and wooden grate number 1. This is a statue of my skin in Minecraft, and this is a creeper statue. This is where most of my gold went. This is one of the last buildings I built, and I wanted a use for my gold blocks, so yeah, it took a while, a lot of mining. This is wooden grate number 1, and this is another art thing that I built to just fill up space on an island. This So when I knew I was gonna end the world soon, or at least be done with it, I had a bunch of spare gunpowder. So I decided to turn it into TNT and blow up a giant hole. There's water at the end, which kind of ruined the explosion, but it still was fun. This is probably the project that took the longest time. This is the Towering Forest. It's basically the trees you saw over there taken to the extreme. And look, in this version, you can't sneak. Building this was a nightmare. I died so many times. Like, half of the saves of this world are just based on building this tree. Because there's no respawn. When you die, it forces you to go back to your saves, so there's like 30 saves just of me building this tree farm. So every Minecraft Indev world actually starts off with a structure. It's called the starter house. And it's just this wooden box. And I didn't like how it looked, but I still wanted to keep parts of it, so I built this kind of wooden gazebo and placed a crafting table and a couple of things that I used while building this. I don't use it anymore, there's nothing in here. Yeah. So this tunnel we'll get on later. So this path leads to what I call the back roads. It's kind of like a place without anything of note. So there's really no reason to cross this road. There's faster methods using the tunnel I just showed. But I just think it's nice. It's a really relaxing part of the world. I think the fact that there is not much reason to visit here kind of makes it special. You can see, so this used to be actually just land, but I connected it to the ocean and flooded it, and this is where I did it, so I guess that's a place of interest, but other than that, there isn't much, and now we're back to the slit-shaped storage hall. So now we're gonna visit the center of the island. So, in Minecraft Indev generation, there's kind of a... I thought that was a creeper. There's kind of a lower lands and a highlands. I called it the lowlands and the highlands. And it makes terraforming and building quite difficult. Like, I had to flatten the whole thing out. That's why I have so much dirt. And I use a lot of TNT for that. But yeah, this is a tunnel that goes across it. It leads to the other side of the island and the tree farm. It was originally going to be a project where I can get extra cobblestone, but then I had to be very fancy with it, so I think I ended up with like a stack or something. One of the goals with this build was I didn't want to use any torches, so it has these night lights or skylights, and it also uses, well, I mean it uses torches, but you know, you can't see it if you're like walking across. It's a pretty cool build. Not my favorite or anything, but kind of fun. So, as we get up to the highlands, I built this staircase. Actually, I will show you the original mine of this world. So yeah, this used to be the original mine before I covered it up. I mined a lot of cobblestone here, but I didn't like how it kind of intruded with the look of the village or settlement, so I covered it up. Kind of like a abandoned mine, I guess, of the world. So, this is the highlands, or rather, this is the flower farm. This is where it's not a farm. This is where I put a bunch of the flowers that I had left over. This is where I spent most of my flowers. And this is the museum. This leads to the, is it the eastern side? Yeah, I think the eastern coast of the island. And this is the path above in the highlands. So you can see these are just the skylights of the tunnel. It doesn't look that good on the surface, to be honest. This originally was just a wooden shack and a flower farm. Or, it's supposed to be a flower farm. I don't actually get any flowers. In fact, I used up a couple flowers for this. And at the end of the world, I built this center tower because it was in the center of the island mostly. And this is just a statue of my Minecraft skin from behind. Yeah. And it's a really nice view above from here. So yeah, this is my Minecraft Indev world. I think it's pretty cool. I left certain areas dark on purpose because I wanted a way to get drops from mobs. I have it set to peaceful right now just for the sake of the tour, but I usually have it set on hard. And yeah, there isn't anything else, I guess. So thanks for watching. Goodbye. Oof,